Nick Baldwin for BloodyElbow.com here with a UFC featherweight fighter who will be taking on top contender Ricardo Lamas this weekend in the co-main event of UFC on Fox 26 at the Bell MTS Place here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. It is Josh Emmett. Josh, thank you very much for the time. We spoke pretty recently, just a couple weeks ago. This is, of course, a short notice fight. Weight-wise, how are you feeling right now, and also how was the last little bit of your fight camp?
I feel great right now as far as energy. Actually feel better than I did when I fought in Poland 6 weeks ago. But it's Tuesday, so I have some weight to lose, and yeah, it'll be good though.
Sort of walk me through what fight week will look for you. We're speaking on Tuesday evening. We still have a few more days, a few days till the weight cut, till the fight. Sort of what will, Wednesday, Thursday look for you? Is it mostly just, cutting that weight? Is last final preparations? What is the next little bit going to look for you?
Yeah, so basically Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I got in here last night, and I just do one workout, and I'm really just focusing on getting the weight down. I'm not focusing on technique. I'm not focusing on conditioning or anything like that. I'm really just getting a sweat going, keeping it going, and just working on things I've done throughout the camp. It's just the same thing for me. It's another fight week, and I'm definitely prepared for it.
You're, of course, the co-main event, as I said off the top. Does that feel good? Does it just feel, as you said, like another fight? Does this feel like a big fight?
It really doesn't. It doesn't feel like a big fight to me. It's even though it is, it's like the most important fight of my career, the biggest fight of my career. But it's weird, man. Even when I fought amateur, my first fight ever, I was asking my coaches right before I walked out. I was like, is it bad that I'm not nervous? And they're like, no, that's great. And I've always just treated it like a big wrestling finals match. I wrestled in college. I've wrestled at nationals in front of, tons of people. And so for me, I just treat it like another even spar day at Team Alpha Male, because we have some of the best fighters in the world. We're the best team in the world for the lighter weights. So I've seen everything, and it doesn't even feel like I'm fighting right now. And since I've been traveling and fighting in different countries, I love that because I get to experience the culture, just kind of dive into it, and I really enjoy it. So it feels like I'm on vacation. It really does not even set in until I'm in the tunnel making my walk. And then once I get in the cage, then I'm like, okay, here we are. It's just the oddest feeling. I don't feel nervous, anxious, really anything until I'm there, and then it's just a fight. I've been competing my whole life. I love to compete, and yeah, same thing. Even though it's the biggest fight ever.
We were talking off air a little bit about the weight cut because you took this fight on quite short notice. To cut down, especially you mentioned, even cutting down to lightweight's pretty tough. Cutting down to featherweight's even tougher. Will the weight cut, do you think, will it be tougher simply because of the short notice, or will it be like your last fight?
Yeah, I think it'll be just a little more challenging since it is, it was a short notice fight. I found out 3 weeks before Saturday, so yeah, it's definitely going to be a little tougher. I'm only a few pounds off of what I was when I made the cut in Poland, so I'll make weight. I've never not made weight, and it's not going to affect the fight. Of course, I don't have the best energy leading up to the fight just because I'm in a calorie deficit, but I feel great because I'm not dehydrating myself. I'm water loading, and I really just have to get that weight off, and then I'll just blow back up. Once I get the correct fuel in me and liquids, I'll be ready to rock and be 25 pounds, 30 pounds heavier within hours.
Now, of course, I mentioned that this will be the first time you'll be on a UFC main card. So obviously, of course, against Lamas, a huge opportunity. With that comes your first media day, right? Or have you done one in the past?
No, I haven't done a media day for the UFC, so it's cool. Even though it's like I said, the most important fight of my career, it's a huge opportunity, but it's nothing that I haven't done before because when I was fighting regionally in Sacramento, I was the champion for West Coast Fighting Championship, and they're a really professional organization, and they did tons of stuff. So we did, media days where you see in the UFC, like this is like 5-6 weeks out. So I've done all the press conferences. They do video shoots and all this stuff. They try to, obviously this is not on the same level as the UFC, but I've done that, so I think it got me prepared for this. So it's exciting that I go from my last fight being the first fight on Fight Pass, and now I'm the co-main event on a huge Fox card.
I feel like the media day might be a little maybe annoying, just because it's a day before the weight cut. You're weighing in early Friday morning. It's less than 24 hours. Does that make it a little just annoying? It's something you have to do, or are you actually looking forward to doing your first media day?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing my first media day. It's just what we have to do, you know. I don't mind anything that, like, if the UFC tells me be here at a certain time or you have to do this, you know. I work for the UFC. I know we're independent contractors, but this is why I'm here. Like, I'm going to do everything they tell me to do, what I need to do. I'll be on time. I won't show up late. I won't miss it. And, yeah, I am looking forward to it. And it doesn't affect me because I won't start the initial, you know, cut until Thursday night, really.
I gotta ask you, you know, you haven't seen much of Winnipeg. You got here last night, as you said. Any sort of first reaction? I would think that might be related to the weather. It's a little chilly here, maybe a little cooler than you're used to. I know I walked in here and it was boiling in your hotel room. Maybe can't, or you haven't quite figured out the Celsius Fahrenheit conversion, but yeah, you know, a little. Are you already adjusted to the cold, or is it a little? You know, did it throw you off a little bit?
Yeah, it doesn't affect me as far as it is cold though. But you know, being from Sacramento and California, it's 60 degrees out there, sunny right now. It was in the low 50s, and this is Fahrenheit, and so I thought that was cold. And then once we first got off the plane, we're like, oh man, you know, it was like 6 degrees last night, and I was like, this is really cold. Like, but as long as you have the proper attire, like we have beanies, jackets, gloves, then it's okay. But as far as that goes, we're basically staying inside, but we are doing some sightseeing.
Yes. Sightseeing, I mean, there's not a whole lot. I mean, I've been here my whole life. There's not tons going on, or as far as just monuments in Winnipeg. Yeah. I know the Forks is a good spot. Maybe check that out after the fight if you want.
That's where we were today.
Okay.
Yeah,
what do you think about it?
Yeah, we were at the Forks today, so we saw like where the '99 Olympics, like the torch was, and then we checked out a little market that had tons of food. The coaches ate. I watched them eat, but I'll definitely be going there Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon if they're open. And yeah, we're just driving around the town and checking stuff out. We did rent a car because we've been, you know, cabbing it everywhere, and so we decided to rent a car just so we could, you know, see more of Winnipeg.
Yeah, and I know the Human Rights Museum is sort of in Canada known, you know, all countrywide. I know it's a popular place. I actually haven't been myself, you know, even as a Winnipeg resident, but maybe something else worth checking out.
Yeah, we saw the building today where we were, but we didn't go in, and I've heard, you know, good things about it, and a lot of people talk about it. So that is something that we may try to squeeze in if it's open early Sunday. We might swing by there, and then before we head out to go back home.
You leave Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, we leave Sunday afternoon. So
is it nice that this fight is just a week and a bit before Christmas? Because as you probably know, with UFC 219 on December 30th, you have a couple teammates, or you know, at least one teammate, two teammates, or just two. Cynthia too, and the other Rick Glenn, right? He's taking on Miles Jury. Yeah. You know, for them, they sort of have to sacrifice Christmas in a way that, you know, they can't, you know, eat a huge turkey dinner, whereas you can eat all you want. You'll be, you know, a week or so removed from the fight. Is that sort of nice? Does that not matter too much?
No, it's actually really nice. And you know, I've wrestled my whole life and in college, so I've missed every Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, New Year's Eve. But the awesome thing about this is my wife and I booked a trip to visit my little brother James in Italy. He's in the military and he's stationed out there. And we did this back in June. So we were looking, this is like the thing we were looking most forward to. And I got offered to fight in January initially. So I was going to fight in January. So what we did is we canceled everything, canceled our hotels, our excursions, but we didn't cancel the flights because I didn't buy the insurance. So we were just going to have a credit. And then since this popped up, you know, December 16th, it was like perfect timing. And it's just nice because I'm going to go out there. My brother's getting out of the military. He's been there for 6 years. They're having a big ceremony for him. He did some good things in there, so he's getting some awards and stuff like that. So I wanted to go there, and not only so he would have someone to be with for Christmas, I wanted to visit his base, meet some of his friends, and then most importantly be there for his ceremony because he's done, you know, great things. And so we're really excited about that. So literally Saturday, a week from fight night, my wife and I will be in Rome.
Nice.
with my little brother James.
That you know, super exciting. I'll actually be in Rome in March, so first time out of the continent for me as well. You mentioned you were supposed to fight in January. Do you know what card, or were you just told January?
Yeah, they were just looking for whether it be the Boston card or the St. Louis card. You know, they were just throwing some opponents out there, and yeah, this turned out perfect. So I couldn't have wrote this better because now we get to go visit him, and like you said, we get to enjoy Christmas.
Yeah, for sure. UFC on Fox 26 goes down at the Bell MTS Place this weekend here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. You're of course in the co-main event. Huge opportunity taking on longtime featherweight contender Ricardo Lamas. Last question for you, Josh. How do you get the job done this Saturday?
I just have to go out there and perform, do what I do best, and that's win. If I show up and I fight my fight. You know what I mean? I don't really worry about my opponent. I know Ricardo Lamas is one of the best fighters in the world. I've said it time and time again. He's been at the top since he started. But I think stylistically we match up really well, and I think it's going to be an exciting fight for the fans. And I could see us definitely getting fight of the night or even fight of the year. You know.
Awesome, Josh. Thank you very much for the time, and best of luck to you on Saturday.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.